5:33 p.m. We'll go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee, what's your last? Bautista? Trustee Bautista, can you lead us on the Pledge of Allegiance? Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mari, can we get a roll call?
Yes, sir. President Adonis Galarza Toledo.
Here.
Vice President Jesus Gonzalez.
Present.
Clerk Jocelyn Vargas. Joey Acuña Jr. Trinidad Arredondo.
Present.
Valerie Garcia.
Present.
Silvia Paz. Thank you.
Moving on to recognitions, Marie Parati.
We do have our trustee.
Oh, and our student trustee.
Sorry, student trustee Lynette Bautista.
Present.
Thank you.
Awesome, sorry about that. Ahora sí, moving on to 2.1, recognitions, Marie Parati.
Good evening, Board and Executive Cabinet. Tonight, in partnership with Riverside County Office of Education, we are going to honor 5 of our original STEAM schools. This initiative started 3 years ago with Mountain Vista, and it grew to 4 more schools that are going to be recognized tonight. And this year, we've also added Valley View and Peter Pendleton, and we do look to expand this initiative to all 14 schools. I would first like to call up Mr. David Budai. The reason I want, thank you. The reason I want to call him up is because he is appointed as our CTE TOSA, but he is all things STEM and science and KidWind, and he really is the brains behind this operation. Without his help and without the partnership with RCOE, we would not see this come to fruition. So I wanted to really bring him up. And this is Mr. David Budai, and he is going to introduce the RCOE team to you.
Good evening. It is my honor to introduce Yami Shimojo from the Riverside County Office of Education. And I'll let her, I just get so excited when I talk about science, so it's better for me to pass the torch really fast. And she'll tell you like, okay, this is all the good things that we're doing. These are the wonderful people that we have. So without any further, Yami.
Good evening, everyone, members of the board. I would also like to invite my colleagues, Mike Luffin and Henry Shimojo, who also support with the RCRE, to join me up on the podium. So as Marie Perotti and David Budai have already alluded to, back in 2021, Mountain Vista Elementary contracted with Riverside County Office of Ed for science, technology, engineering, math, professional development. Based on this success, Coachella Valley Unified and the Coachella Valley Unified School District College and Career Readiness Division expanded the contract to include 5 additional schools for the 2023 school academic year to further connect and align the PK initiative. Our COE staff would be honored today to recognize these 5 amazing STEAM schools and present to each of them a school banner to proudly hang at each of their school sites, promoting the positive message about their STEM program with the communities they serve. Would love to please invite to the podium now to join us Ms. Valerie Perez, Ms. Delia Alvarez, Mr. Alexander Kirk, Ms. Elisa Gentry, and Mr. Michael Schneider. If you can all join us here. Today we have with us Mountain Vista, Palmview, Cesar Chavez, Saul Martinez, and CVU Elementaries. They've completed the year with amazing teaching and learning results as evidence in the implementation markers of STEM education, which included but are not limited to coding, KidWind, inquiry experiences in the classroom, wonder walls that promote inquiry and wonderment for students, the use of phenomena, all pointing toward increasing student engagement. Today, we want to take a few minutes to honor these 5 schools, their STEM champions, their STEM leadership teams, their staff, their students, and their community for taking this step and being committed to providing key experiences for students toward preparing them for rigorous coursework aligned with college and career pathways. We bring today for each of them a school side banner that each school can proudly display to announce their commitment with all of their stakeholders in their community. And so we want to show the banners in 2 ways. So if Mike and Henry could maybe show the first banner. Oh, there we go. So the first banner goes to Mountain Vista Elementary. They are designated a Carnegie STEM Excellence Pathway Partner and is a school of Coachella Valley Unified School District and is dedicated to providing high-quality STEM education programs and services. Congratulations, Mountain Vista.
Very nice.
And we'll continue to showcase and also show you, I think you can, I'm not sure that you can see the slides behind you, but as you can see, each of the schools will also obtain a banner. And so today we also honor CVU Elementary, Palmview Elementary, Saul Martinez Elementary, and last but not least, one more, Cesar Chavez Elementary. Thank you all so much. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
With the board's permission, may we take a group picture?
Yes.
Thank you.
Before we do, can I just, I just want to say something. Thank you, RCOE, for the work that you do. You guys always come very prepared, and it's obvious when you show up, things are done right. So we're very honored that RCOE continues to support what we do. Personally, Mr. David Badai, you've been a person in my life, right? Because I have, for the last 10 years, my children have been big participants in what you offer and the programs that you offer at respective schools. I was blessed that my daughter was accepted to the Cosmos program at UCSD this summer because of the work that she's done with you, and you guys are making a big difference. And I think this type of imagination is really what's going to allow our kids to grow and grow to their full potential. So thank you for what you all do.
Thank you so much.
Mountain Vista. Oh, yes.
Okay. Moving on, 2.2, Dr. Williams.
Good afternoon.
Board President Galarza, board members, Dr. Valentino, cabinet, and audience members. Today we begin with putting a spotlight on our schools. And so we have the pleasure of having two of our school sites here with us today who are going to be sharing some highlights about what is happening at their school sites. So it is my honor to welcome the administration of CVU Elementary. We have former principal, Mrs. Tara Hinchin, along with our brand new principal, Dr. Michael Schneider. They are also accompanied by some students, and they will be talking to you about the great things that have been taking place at CVU Elementary. Let's give them a round of applause to welcome them. And we're just waiting for the presentation to be uploaded or shown.
All right, good evening, Board of Trustees and President Galarza. It is our pleasure to showcase with you tonight all of the wonderful things that are happening at CVU Elementary. For the past 2 years, we have reimagined and refocused our priorities to ensure academic growth and achievement for all students at CVU Elementary. Our motto, "Everyone grows here," reminds us that we are continually growing and moving forward in all we do. Some of the highlights that I would like to share as former principal is our exit out of Comprehensive Support and Improvement, or CSI, by demonstrating progress in attendance, language arts, and math. This was a big win for our school and our students. Our dual language program, which serves kindergarten through 3rd grade, has also been successful, and more students are enrolling in the program. Another highlight is our growth in student enrollment, which puts us at one of the largest schools in the district. We are excited to have so many ambitious frogs on our campus. We are now going to have some CVU students share with you some of our other highlights, as we are proud of all the things that are happening on our campus.
Hi, my name is Aleida and I'm in 2nd grade. At CVU, our teachers are trained in many things that help students learn. We also now have a parent center where my mom can come and help do things to support my school. We also have lots of parents' events and fun activities that love coming to. My favorite was the literacy night.
My name is Addison and I am in 5th grade. We want school to be a safe place for kids, so at CVU the transformational model is implemented by all. Through fun activities, classes, PBIS, and a welcoming environment, school is a fun place to be. We are lucky that we also recently opened a Head Start program and we have a waiting list. Our community is so grateful to have this program. At CVU, we also work hard to implement AVID. All students are AVID scholars and we work hard to be organized and college bound.
We actually have a student that is not quite here yet, so I'm going to read his parts. But he wanted to talk about STEM. And one of the things that has made our students really excited about school is our STEAM initiative, as you saw tonight. And we recently received a STEM grant from the Anderson Foundation, and we have our partnership with RCOE and also a new STEM lab that's opening. And so students are super excited about the STEM lab. Another awesome thing that is going on at CVU is our intervention program, and we have many dedicated intervention teachers that work very hard to make sure that students are successful. And again, we have grown so much and we needed new buildings, so we were excited to have 4 new portables added to our campus to give us a little bit more room to grow. And we also wanted to highlight our ACES program as something that has been growing, and kids are super excited. We have many students that are on, want to be on campus after school, even before school, and our students are excited about these opportunities that they have to learn new things after school that they don't get to do during the day. And so I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Schneider.
Good evening. As the new principal of CVU, I'm very impressed with all the moving parts and great things that are happening at Seaview Elementary. We know that the work is to continue so that we can ensure student success, and especially with our great teaching and support staff, I have no doubt that we will make it happen. Thank you.
Great job, kids. Thank you.
All right, next up, we want to highlight one of the secondary schools, and we have CV High School. We have some great things that CV High School has just been awarded with. So let me introduce Ms. Socorro Sanchez to the microphone.
Good evening, distinguished governing members of the board, executive cabinet members, and members of the community. At the end of last year, we, meaning staff, parents, and students, were able to identify 4 competencies that make up our portrait of a graduate. These include communication, critical thinking and problem solving, digital literacy, and wellness. Next, I am honored to present an overview of Coachella Valley High School's achievements, which are reflective of these 4 competencies. We are proud to report that these last 7 weeks have been a great success. From our academies and pathways receiving the 2023 CSBA Golden Bell Award, Mr. Toledo and student Eric Peña Martinez speaking at the Paid Internship Summit in Sacramento, our football team receiving a high-quality football helmet donation from Chairman Mike and the 29 Palms Bands of Mission Indians, our upcoming Growth Mindset Conference hosted by CV High's Special Education Department, to our dedicated teachers, staff, and students diligently working together to build a positive and engaging learning community and environment. The home of the mighty Arabs continues to be the place to be. Our upcoming WASC visit will take place October 15th through the 18th. The visit will begin with the visiting committee participating in a campus tour, followed by a meeting with our parents, and ending the visit on the 18th with the reading of the report at 1:15 in our auditorium. Our extended learning program and sports are in full swing. Whether it's sports, clubs, or EXLP, there are numerous opportunities for our students to get involved. We are committed to building a strong school community. This includes increasing and strengthening our parent engagement component. We have several workshops lined up, as well as a parent-to-parent mentoring group. Their first session will begin next Thursday at 9 a.m. We also have several parent volunteers who, along with myself, will go out to the community in 2 weeks to invite other parents to join one of our upcoming workshops. Lastly, for our wellness competency, I'd like to ask Mr. Jason Tate to come up and speak on the recent America's Healthiest Schools Award that we received.
Good evening and thank you. I'm here to speak on behalf of CV High School and our administration as well as our teachers, but this award is for the school. Less than 0.5% of schools across the country receive an award like this. There are 9 categories to be awarded as one of America's healthiest schools, and we've received one of the 9 so far. This award is a huge thank you to the board, to the parents, to the kids, to everyone who paved the way to make the wellness centers possible at these schools, not just CV High School, but all the high schools and the middle schools. So I can see, honestly, all of the high schools finding a way to get this award as well, the middle schools, and we're already starting work on our second award from the Alliance for Healthier Generation, which is staff wellness. And I'm working hard on that. We've just received a grant over the summer from the Anderson Children's Foundation to build a Zen garden on the campus, the first school in the Valley to have a Zen garden for its staff, its students, parents, visitors, anyone to the campus. So I want to say thank you to the board, to the parents, and everyone in the community for making this possible.
Picture. Black Panther. Blue? Sorry. Forget it, yeah. Moving on to closed session public comment. Do we have any closed session public comments? Seeing none, can I get a motion to enter into closed session?
So, second.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Redondo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We'll be back at 6:45. Turn into,
So move.
motion by Mr. Gonzalez. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Paz. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We're back in open session and Dr. Valentino will be down soon. Here he comes. Moving on to any action taken in closed session?
Yes. Okay. The board took action during closed session under item 4.6. The board voted to approve the October 12, 2023 10-day settlement offer, 20 USC section final settlement agreement and general release resolving a matter for parents OAH, case number 2023-070567. On this 12th day of October 2023, motion was made by trustee Gonzalez, seconded by trustee Arredondo. Motion carried 6-0. And the last item, the board took action during closed session under item 4.6. The board voted to approve the October 12, 2023 10-day settlement offer, 20 USC section final settlement agreement and general release resolving a matter for parents OAH, case number 2021070946. On this 12th day of October 2023, motion was made by trustee Arredondo, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Motion carries 6-0. That's it.
Thank you. Moving on to action item 5.3, approval of agenda submitted. Can I? Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull item 9.1. We will,
Let the motion reflect that.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to written board notification, request to address the board. At this time, we will take public comments. Please be aware that comments are limited to 3 minutes per comment, 20 minutes per subject matter. The board is not always at liberty of responding or taking action on any items not listed on the adopted agenda. And we'll go ahead and move forward. Caroline Loscano Garcia. And thank you all for waiting patiently. I know that we're way overhead in closed session. So thank you all for staying here.
Good evening, board members and members of the public. My name is Caroline Lascano Garcia, and I am a proud parent of this Title I school district. I am here today to express my concerns regarding 2 site practices that are new at Coachella Valley High School for the 2023-2024 school year. The first one is school IDs. As of September 1st, 2023, students will be charged $10 each time they do not wear their ID to school, and they are having to purchase a replacement. The second one is deliveries to students as of October 1st, 2023. Parents and guardians are not allowed to drop off personal items to their students. This includes school-issued IDs. If my child accidentally leaves their ID in the car and I do not notice until I get home, I am not allowed to return to the school and drop it off, causing my family to incur a cost. I would like to ask the board to please consider the financial burden being incurred by a simple human error. Lastly, I would like to remind all of you today that it was district employees that received a 9% pay increase, retro pay, and bonuses, not the families in the community that they and you serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Marisela Castillo?
I have some pictures for you guys. Do I give them to you? Do you have copies for all of them? I do. I also emailed them to you.
Good. Okay. Good afternoon. My son was in an accident at the front of CVH High School Tuesday, the 3rd of October at 7 a.m., trying to fight the crowd to get into the school. I am hopeful you all received my detailed email, as I have only heard from the superintendent and 2 of the board members. Thank you, Mr. Arredondo, Ms. Vargas, and Superintendent Dr. Valentino. My name is Marisela Castillo. First off, I am thankful that my son was not seriously injured in this accident. It was a call I knew I would receive one day. I have been advocating for a safer entry for my teens to bike in since last year when they locked down the school. Before then, my students were allowed to enter the school through a safer entry. After the lockdown, they were denied access through that safe entry and redirected by administration out of their bike lane, around the buses, and into the traffic. Once they passed the buses, my students had to dodge slow-moving vehicles, crowding the bike lane, and vehicle doors opening, not to exclude the vehicles making illegal U-turns at the corner and at the front of the school, trying to beat out other vehicles. Turning off of Van Buren and onto Airport Boulevard, we still have the vehicles stopped and slowly moving up the bike lane, illegally as well. I have a hard time grasping that these are adults, parents, caregivers, and guardians who are putting other students in danger. All along Van Buren Street and Airport Boulevard, there are signs clearly visible stating no parking, no stopping, no U-turn, and the biggest of all, a bike lane painted in green with a curb painted in red. I have made various attempts to resolve this issue with the school. One occasion, in particular, I asked the principal, Ms. Socorro Sanchez, in person as to what the game plan was. I was told I would be updated. I patiently waited. I was getting nowhere. My students then advocated for themselves and asked admin for a safe passage through the bus entry gate, only to be denied and told protocol prevents them from gaining access. I don't understand how administrative staff would willfully and knowingly direct students into a dangerous situation. On the day of my son's incident, I was on the phone with Miss Yvonne Medina with the safety and security team at CVHS, trying to find out if we had any resolution to this issue. Minutes after hanging up with her, I received a call that he was struck. This was an avoidable incident. Had the school acted responsibly and in a timely manner, my son would not be in pain today. I am hopeful that they take this incident seriously and find a better solution. May I continue?
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I lost my place. Oh my gosh. Avoidable, I'm sorry. This was an avoidable incident, had this, sorry, I'm so sorry. I am hopeful that they take, as I was told by Ms. Socorro Sanchez, this was an issue a decade overdue for a solution. I have also spoken to Mr. Gustavo Pais, head of security and safety here at the district, and to my surprise, he was completely unaware of this problem. When I asked for a solution, his quick response was to have my students right in the bike lane, that he can clearly see from the image that he pulled up on his screen. I was shocked at this point, as my constant cries for help had fallen on deaf ears. Your district has no idea what is going on at our campus. I invited Mr. Pais to visit the school site and to observe it for himself. Resolutions that I think may make a difference could include, and not limited to, having safety and security making rounds and issuing citations for those breaking the rules and the laws. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Lilian Garcia.
Ma'am, could I ask for your phone number? Maybe leave it with our secretary,
Absolutely.
and I'll contact
I
you
left it
tomorrow.
on my email for you guys,
Okay,
but I will give it to you again.
thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ms. Lilian Garcia.
Good evening, board members and members of the public. My name is Lillian Garcia with United for Justice. I am a proud CV alumni. I am here this afternoon in support of my community to address a practice implemented at Coachella Valley High School on October 1st, 2023. Under this new practice, students are not allowed deliveries to the school due to a disruption of the learning environment. Although I understand the difficulty teachers are facing with disruptions due to constant interruptions, I fail to see how it's of greater value to students to sit in a classroom unable to participate. I pose this question: if the child is unable to access their education because they forgot their district issued iPad, then why should the school receive funding for them? I would like to remind each of you that you are here to make decisions that are in the best interest of our students and not a burden financial. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Sandra Ramirez.
Buenas tardes, miembros de la mesa directiva, superintendente. Mi nombre es Sandra Ramírez y la razón que estoy aquí esta tarde es para pedirles que de igual manera se ponga atención en eso de que no le permiten a uno como padre llevar los iPads o el material que los niños necesitan para la escuela. Esto específicamente en la High School de Coachella, donde hace pocas semanas se implementó esta nueva póliza, y yo estoy de acuerdo que hay cosas que no necesitan los niños, pero hay cierto material que es necesario para que el niño pueda tener un aprendizaje exitoso, sobre todo porque ya los niños lidian con diferentes situaciones todos los días. Entonces creo que no hay necesidad de provocar más estrés o ansiedad en ellos por el hecho de que somos seres humanos, a todos se nos olvidan cosas. Entonces no es promover la no responsabilidad, sino más bien ser atentos a las necesidades de ellos. Gracias.
Gracias. Maribel Hernández.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva, gabinete y todos los presentes. Mi nombre es Maribel Hernández. Soy maestra del programa de doble inmersión desde hace 3 años aquí en el distrito de Coachella. Esta noche quiero expresar mis inquietudes sobre la falta de apoyo, recursos y capacitación para los maestros del programa de doble inmersión. Revisando la agenda de esta noche, me he percatado que el distrito ha invertido más de $90,000 en los últimos 5 meses para capacitar a cierto personal que trabaja directamente en las oficinas centrales de nuestro distrito, lo cual es excelente, pero ¿cuándo se invertirá también, no nada más el dinero, pero el tiempo para capacitar a nuestros maestros del programa de doble inmersión y así poder promover una educación equitativa, que muy frecuente lo promovemos aquí en el distrito, a nuestros estudiantes y familias que eligieron este distrito y programas de educación para sus hijos? Además, la doctora Gutiérrez esta noche está buscando aprobación para la asistencia a una conferencia fuera del estado, en Nuevo México para ser más específicos, la cual tendrá un impacto fiscal de $40,000. Me parece esta una magnífica oportunidad, pero de nueva cuenta, cuando se priorizará darle las mismas oportunidades de conferencias, entrenamientos y capacitación a los maestros que día a día somos responsables de promover una educación rigurosa en la alfabetización bilingüe. El mes pasado me informaron de una oportunidad para los maestros del programa de doble inmersión titulada Dual Language Connection Group en San Bernardino, la cual consistía o consiste en observar otras escuelas con programas exitosos de doble inmersión. Yo y otras 2 compañeras expresamos interés en participar, desafortunadamente solo se eligió a una. Después nos enteramos que había espacio para que 25 maestros de nuestro distrito del programa de doble inmersión pudieran asistir, pero solo se mandaron a 8. Como de costumbre, el programa de doble inmersión en nuestro distrito es el último en recibir apoyo equitativo para los maestros y estudiantes. Los maestros no recibimos la capacitación apropiada para el programa. Nuestros estudiantes carecen de las mismas oportunidades que a los otros estudiantes se les está presentando. Presidente Galarza, hace unos meses atrás, cuando se le eligió como presidente de la mesa directiva, mencionó que le gustaría revolucionar la educación. ¿Nos podría explicar cómo va a lograr eso, cómo se está logrando eso? Porque los maestros del programa del doble inmersión recibimos el mismo entrenamiento todos los años, y los 3 años que tengo aquí no recibí entrenamiento en escritura, no he recibido entrenamiento sobre la nueva currículum de ciencias sociales o de ciencias. Entonces, espero que muy pronto pueda darnos una respuesta sobre cómo se logrará tal deseo que expresó en el mes de diciembre. Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you all for your public comments. Moving on to item 7.1, written communications. Do we have any written communications?
None were submitted, no.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to action item, 7.2, student trustee report.
For Coachella Valley High School, we have a college kickoff, and we will have events during the month of October with different booths, including COD and CSUSB, along with ASB, who had welcomed back rallies per grade on September 8th. We also had, and I'm very proud to announce that we had Eric Pena, who was invited to speak with the, with paid internship in Summit, hosted in Sacramento. He's one of students who does a lot in school. He's an ambassador, he's in band, he's in a whole lot of stuff and really involved in school. So I'm really proud that he got this big thing in Sacramento. And then in Desert Mirage, we have counselors who gathered up for a career fair in Agua Caliente. And we also have football, who has a current record of 5-2 with 5 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. They participated and brought a win during DM's homecoming game against Cathedral City. They also had a pep rally hosted in their gym on October 5th. And for West Shores, ASB organized a college and career carnival fair. Link Crew, they had lunch event where freshmen, mentees, and Link Crew mentors ate lunch and played games together. College kickoff, carnival fair at West Shores, where students were invited to play games, and there were many events that day that they are planning to occur and many more. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Bautista. Moving on to Trustee Garcia.
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Vargas.
The only comment I was gonna make, I know that the survey for the North Shore School, they're already collecting input from the community around the name and the mascot, I believe. So it's on their website. Looks like the deadline to submit your input is October 17th at 3 p.m. So Encourage folks to submit their responses and their input to the name and mascot for the new elementary school in North Shore. I'm like, did I say that? And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Paz?
Yeah, I have questions about the policy at CV High School. Is it only at CV High School? Is it across all of our schools? All of our schools? Oh, only CV? Oh.
the
The not
drop-off?
allowed deliveries and charging $10 for not bringing the ID.
So the charging for IDs is something that we need to discuss because it should not happen at any of our schools. And I am just finding out that it is happening at some schools and they're
Okay.
different costs, they're different prices. So
Okay.
that's something that we will talk in-house about to make sure that the students don't have to pay for a second ID. However, in regards to the drop-off of items, there is policy of dropping off of items. And it's not because there's one person who needs to drop off a badge, but when there are several items throughout the day, the office staff gets bombarded and the disruption in the classroom is something that the teachers have said happens. But if it's instructional material, it should be able to be dropped off. Where the policy is more around like food and things of that nature, Uber Eats, and those types of things coming to the school. But not so much in regards to instructional materials. Those should be allowed to be dropped off.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that answer. I guess I hadn't even considered Uber Eats. We're living in a completely different world. But I think we do need to look into and make it clear.
Yes.
Because yeah, if I have my child that forgot a book or clothing for a sport or I mean, they forget as parents, we're running out of the
Right.
door and we forget that there is an opportunity to drop off essentials. But yeah, clarifying that.
Trustee Paz, we have a comment from our student trustee. Do you mind taking it?
Go ahead.
This was a topic that was discussed as well with student ambassadors with Ms. Socorro Sanchez. So I do agree with the policy. There could be some adjustments with just like a certain amount of stuff that could be dropped off, because I feel like for my own safety, and I know safety of my friends, we don't like the idea of any parent can come and say, hey, I'm dropping this off for my child, but how do we know that you're actually a parent for a child that goes to that school? So I feel like there's that kind of yes and no about it, because it's like a security thing where we feel safer that certain items are dropped off for sports or iPads and or IDs, stuff like that, it's fine. But it's where it goes into like, oh, like there's food or there's like drinks or there's like duffel bags being dropped off, because there's kids in school who like selling stuff, and there's certain precautions that we also need to take for that. So that's what I was talking to Ms. Sanchez about and telling her that we should have like a guideline basically on what should be accepted, and like letting security know at the front door, hey, there's a parent that's supposed to drop off a duffel bag or supposed to drop off clothes or cleats or something, to let security know that the only parents that should be coming in or to drop off certain items and for what student, so that security is aware of what parents should be coming in and out, and setting up like an appointment thing if parents do need to make an urgent thing to come in.
One of the most popular things being dropped off is chapstick.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you, Lynette, for that. I mean, protocols, it seems clarity and protocols, because yeah, you raise a very good point. How do I know that you're the child's parent? I mean, we're there in our system. I don't know. I'll put it in
So
your
the
hands.
policy is it's long, but it is vague in that way, and
Okay.
so we'll have to refine it.
Thank you.
The other thing that I would like to see is perhaps a study session on the double immersion program. We've all years ago committed to having double immersion program. And I won't speak for everyone here, but I think when I committed to this, I want to see it be successful and supported and funded, and not just in paper, right? So I would like to see a study session, not a presentation,
Right.
a study session where we're hearing from the teachers when we're hearing about like, what's the status? Is it working? What are the challenges? We've heard, I mean, we've made decisions about stipends because we want to attract more teachers. I don't know that that's resolved the issue, right? And maybe there's something deeper that we need to be looking into. So a real open dialogue of what's happening and not just, well, this is great, we're doing immersion and we can pat ourselves in the back, because that's not what I mean, I really want this to be successful. I don't want a presentation, I want a discussion.
And they also need conferences to go to, so I know that that's what the teacher was saying, is that they want current conferences. They keep getting the same meetings every year, and so we're working on that to make sure that they're able to go to conferences and able to go to different school districts to be able to see how their dual language programs are working for them.
Thank you. Those are my comments.
Mr. Gonzalez?
I don't have a report, President Garza, but I did want to recognize, I don't have a report, Mr. Galarza, but I did want to recognize Cristobal Bautista. He's one of our nutrition specialists. I received an email text from a community member. Is a daughter in our school district with special needs and certain food allergies, and he brought him to the attention of the school district, and this gentleman went above and beyond to make sure that her nutritional needs were met. And I think it's a great example of what happens when we do things right. So I just want to shout out to that employee for the work that he's done, to the point that he had a community member, a family, recognize or at least take the time to write and thank the school district and thank that individual for the work that he's doing every day. And I'm proud of him. So thank you, Cristobal.
Thank you. Sure. My end, nothing to report. We'll go ahead and superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Garza. Just really briefly, welcome, Lynette, officially to the board. You did great, and I'm sure it's going to be an exciting year for you. The only other thing is, earlier this week, students from several schools in our district attended the career fair at Agua Caliente. Lynette and her team, Marie Parati and her team, and Dr. Alice and her team, they were there representing, and there were universities from across the country and other organizations who were providing information to students, helping them make decisions about future careers. So this was a great opportunity to do it every year to make sure that the students are aware of all of the options that they can avail themselves of. That's all I have.
Thanks, sir. Us moving on to 8.1. Is anybody reporting on it?
Was that pulled off?
No, 9.1.
Oh, 9.1. You put 9.1. Okay, 8.1.
Victor Labastidia, Limited.
It's just an information item, so that we, last board meeting, there was a question about the John Kelly project, and this is the reports and the survey that they did. So we've uploaded it, so it's available for the public.
From the, I have a question. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
From the public comment, do we have
A management plan?
Yes.
Yes,
Because I think
yes, we
that's
do.
kind of what they were looking for as well. So
Yes. So this one we wanted to add specifically for John Kelly. So next time we're going to be, because the first initial report is, we don't have it scanned. It's it's just paper in maintenance. So we're going to scan it in. So we provide that whole report for all the schools that we have. And then we have the 3-year O'Hara report with the management plan. So we'll bring it up next time.
Okay, but
Yeah,
is
we'll
this, these documents, are they supposed to be available publicly and accessible on our website for folks?
Yes, so we're gonna create binders for all the schools so that they have the initial documents and any documents that we continue to do for any projects. So anytime any projects are gonna be around areas that have asbestos, we do a pre-assessment or survey, and then after. So that will also be available. So we create binders so that they have them on hand, as well as if we have them electronically, we're gonna provide them. Right now, everyone can look up board items, so it's easier. We don't have a sort of like an e-library or anywhere where it's electronic for everybody, unless the website. But this way, it's available here, and we can start building to provide all the information as we do projects, as well as the old documents. So we'll bring it back as an information for the whole district. Okay.
Thank you.
There's a state compliance that requires us to have these documents
Yes.
in order, right? And I'm sure
Yes.
we have them. So it's good that
Yes.
we found them and,
Yes.
and that we're going to make them available, because the question was asked, but I'm sure that there is a state mandate on this. So I'm glad that we're able to put our hands on them.
And we have them available. They're in maintenance. It's just.
Sure.
They weren't
Sure.
at the site or.
It's not very often we're asked for those types of documents, but good we have them.
Okay.
Okay, well, that serves its purpose. I think just for the record, I'll go ahead and read out what's here. It says, during the tropical storm hurricane experienced during the month of August, debris from excessive wind caused blockage at the drain outlet and resulted in excess water to flood into band room. This flooding saturated various materials and caused debris to collapse from ceiling to floor on the west end of the room. Results pointed out that damaged area in need of repair did not contain asbestos. Oh, I skipped a line, sorry. This damage was discovered our initial assessment on Monday, August 21st. Complying with our abatement protocol and an asbestos test was ordered. The results pointed out that the damaged area in need of repair did not contain asbestos. However, material in adjacent area were positive. In an effort to safely remediate the area, our team followed the Procedure 5 remediation protocol measures, containment, and an all-clear test to account for the possibility of disturbing surrounding areas. On August 23rd, Safeguard Enviro Group conducted a limited asbestos surveys at John Kelly Elementary School inside of the band room and adjacent rooms. The results indicated that the area of concern and in need of abatement did not contain asbestos material and would not require a Procedure 5 cleanup plan remediation. Upon completion of abatement, an all-clear test was conducted on September 18th. The results indicated that no asbestos was detected or disturbed during the abatement. Thank you. Moving on to action item 10.1, requesting approval of out-of-state conference to attend La Cosecha 2023 Dual Language Conference in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I just have some questions. Is this a conference that we do every year? Is there anything out of the ordinary in terms of cost or amount of people going? Or is this something that we support and that we do every year?
They have gone in the past. As a result of the pandemic, after the pandemic, it stopped. Historically, there has been a group of teachers and staff, other staff that have attended. So this is the first year after the pandemic that they are returning to this conference in New Mexico.
And how do we decide who gets to go and who doesn't get to go?
That I don't have the answer to, but I can ask.
Can
Ms.
we
Gutierrez
table this discussion, maybe put some more thought into it? And then that's a pretty serious ask. It's a $40,000 LCFF obligation, and I'd like to maybe do a little more work on this, and maybe we can put this back on the next board agenda.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Ms. Paz. All those in favor?
Aye.
I have a
Oh,
question.
Yes, go ahead.
So if we push it, do they still, if we decide to let them go, do they have enough time?
Yes, because it's in November.
Okay.
So we have one more meeting.
There's a motion and a second on the floor to table this item. Motion, all those in favor?
Some more discussion.
I
Oh, you
just
have some more?
just wanted to point
Okay.
out, I looked up the conference and it says here, conference for teachers by teachers. So as you're saying, who goes, and I mean, I'm sure other people go, but just what I found on their website, the first thing is.
Dr.
yeah,
Esparza, do you
conference
have
for
anything on
teachers.
this?
Yes, and you're right. And so the director of EL is the one who's chosen the people to go. She was also going to go, but we'll come back and have that conversation with her about who's going to be going to conferences. I have brought this up to my staff, Ed Services staff, and we're starting to track all the conferences to make sure that as we go to professionally develop ourselves,
Yes.
we also need to make sure that the people on the ground are also attending these
I mean,
conferences.
we heard it today, right?
Yes.
And so there's got to be some type of metric, right?
And I think it's just so important because we can't run those programs from the top, right? So if we have a cohort and it's a thought out, we're gonna do this and we're gonna bring, I think, yeah, I mean, just having the ground team ready with the DO team, it's just gonna help the programs or just help us get more out of conferences.
Right, and it's also having those conversations with our principals to see who they would like to choose to send to these conferences that really need that extra support, that really can go in and see what it is that they should be doing in their classrooms. And so it'll be working with admin as well as with the director here.
Awesome, I'll call the question.
I have one comment,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I was just curious, when folks are going out to conferences, are there opportunities to like, I know there's a lot of like train the trainer models. Are we also considering that as part of like, you know, do we have like community of like, what is it,
Yes.
PLCs or things like that?
Yes, yes, there are PLCs, but there's also lots of work, and I know Gracie Gutierrez and Marcela Zamudio, they go to conferences such as Avid, and they take an entire group of people, and it's a trainer of trainers, but it's a huge learning thought conference, and so lots of teachers and administrators are invited, and so those are the types of conferences that, or groups that we want to be able to bring together. This conference is in New Mexico. It's a dual language conference that happens once a year throughout the nation. So lots of people from around the nation, but mostly teachers.
Thank you.
See no more discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Action item 10.2, requesting approval of, to adopt board resolution number 2024-13, sufficiency of instructional materials compliance for fiscal year 2023-2024, and certification of provision of standards aligned instructional materials.
A motion?
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez. Is there a second? It's 10.2.
Come on, it's the last item on the agenda before the consent calendar. I have a motion. My motion stands.
Oh, I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Trustee Paz. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
Uh,
Motion carries 5-0.
Student trust-
Oh,
Student trustee.
yes, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Yes. Please say it louder. Pull my ear.
You should have threw your
Yeah.
sandwich at him.
Yeah, throw your sandwich at me. Okay, so all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Abstain? Our student trustee, how do you vote?
In favor.
Awesome. Thank you. Action item, consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be routine and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board considers a motion unless members of the board or staff request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar, in which event the items will be considered separately. The superintendent, assistant superintendent of educational services, assistant superintendent of business and finance, and assistant superintendent of HR recommend the approval of all consent calendar items. Is there a motion?
I motion, respecting anybody wanting to pull an item.
Anybody pulling any item? Seeing none, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Vargas. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Trustee Bautista?
In favor.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Motion carries 5-0-0. Student trustee in favor. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez. Is there a second? I'll second. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Galarza. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Our student trustee?
In favor.
Motion carries, adjourned at 8:36. Have a good night, everybody.